because
we should all do it.
I know, and I have some of the best outfits, and I have the thimbles, the thumb symbols, and it's fun though. It is so fun that's part of the fun about it is all the coins, because the coins are supposed to be your dowry, and it's fun just to listen to them all, and it's very sexy, and it was I think very instrumental in me having a much more accurate view of my body and being much more forgiving of my body. So I would suggest anybody do it. It's a blast. I would do it. I would definitely do it with you and other people. Yeah, absolutely.
T-squared. Mm-hmm. Get us together.
I'm trying to learn how to line dance too.
Ooh. I'm not good at it. I have tried line dancing. I have tried. And I'm not good at it. I'm just not.
I am actually a pretty good dancer. I have really good rhythm, and so I'm a pretty good dancer. So I would like to find a guy who would take like a, like salsa with me or something.
How's your neighbor? Not that guy?
I've asked him, and he's kind of like, oh, if you really want to.
So you get him there and see if he gets into it.
Yeah, he might.
Maybe he's nervous. And once you get him there and he's like, hey, I can do this, he opens up like a flower. I just called the boy a flower. I'm sorry.
His poor testosterone. What did you just do to his testosterone? He will never, he's a very, very masculine man. He will never blossom like a flower.
I never met your ex, but I pictured very masculine, so I don't imagine that you would divert from that.
Yeah, I have a tendency to like men who have way too much testosterone. And you're kind of like, where you look at them every day. What? What?
What is wrong with me? Do you read together? No.
I don't get men. What is wrong with you? But then there's other reasons you really like them to have all that testosterone. So.
Holy muffin. Holy muffin. All right. The next question on Question and Answer Fun from Petra to Carrie. How would you hide a body? Just wondering is what she says. Just wondering.
That is the best question ever. I have to tell you very, very honestly, I don't think I could do the hide a body thing on my own. I really don't. I've asked Siri before just because, when I first got the 4S, I asked her all kinds of crazy questions. Like, so Siri, I have a dead body. What should I do with it? And she sends me to a landfill. And I would enlist my very good friend Forrest, because something about Forrest in all of our conversations, I've known him for several years and I love him. I also love his deviousness. I think he could help me hide a body. So I would call up Forrest.
You would call a friend?
Yes, I would call Forrest, and I would tell him, dude, I got a body. He also wouldn't ask questions. He would just show up. I don't know what we'd do. Take it to a wood chipper, or I don't know, but I would let him take charge. Also, another man in my life, he's just a friend, wonderful friend, who has way too much testosterone. But it would come in very handy when you have to hide a body.
Right.
Yes.
So, Petra, if you need some more details about maybe how to get a hold of Forrest, you can private message Carrie. The last question. What's the best new music that you're listening to? New music. Since the last time we spoke about music.
Since I'm fairly confident, you already got this text message, and I'm fairly confident. I mean, I admitted on Facebook that I really love disco. I learned running that I like Taylor Swift.
I am so happy for you.
Yeah, I'm sort of ashamed of myself. My gays are very, very happy that I am a Swiftie.
They're like 1989.
I have to say though, on my slower runs, "Shake It Off," that is a great song to run to.
She's got some great beats, and some of her lyrics are genius. Like, Band-Aids don't cover bullet holes. I freaking love that line. I'm like, you go, girl.
It depends. I mean, really. A Band-Aid could.
A big Band-Aid. But the first time I heard that line, I was like, I'm sold. I'm sold on this album. Good job, Taylor. She's been in the news lately. Great transition.
Yeah.
So, hours after the pop superstar Taylor Swift criticized Apple for their new thing that they're coming out with, and I'm going to backtrack here. So this story has been evolving like crazy over the last 24 hours, because when I first put the notes together, it was going this way, and then it turned this way today. So, Taylor Swift announced that she'll hold back her 1989 album from Apple Music. So she took to Tumblr to do an open letter to Apple. She is not going to allow the album, which has sold nearly 5 million copies since its release in October, to be played via Apple's new streaming service. Now, Swift's 1989 was the top-selling album of 2014, and it was released in October. And it holds the same title this year, and this is June. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pretty awesome album. She's not going to allow it to be played on Apple's new program. So in the post, she put, "To Apple, love, Taylor." She wrote, "Apple Music plans to forgo royalty payments to writers, artists, and producers during the 3-month trial window when customers who sign up for the service can use it for free. I find it to be shocking, disappointing, and completely unlike this historically progressive and generous company. Apple Music, which will debut on iOS 9 and Android on June 30th, will offer both a free tier and a paid subscription service that'll cost $9.99 a month. And then if you purchase that, you get a 3-month trial. Mm-hmm. And it'll combine on-demand listening with stations programmed by DJs instead of computerized algorithms." All right, so this was yesterday. She's going to hold it. She put this letter out. Her last comments were, "We don't ask you for free iPhones. Please don't ask to provide you with free music." So then, Taylor made some progress, and I found this to be pretty amazing. So this happened today. Apple announced that they're going to be, I don't have the latest one, but they're going to change their policy to pay royalties for the 3 months.
Right.
So she won.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I personally think that, I agree they should be paid the royalties.
Yeah.
I do,
it's
absolutely.
their art.
But at the same time, I find music by listening to streaming services, So I find music by listening to like Pandora. And actually, I think I heard Shake It Off on Pandora. And I'm
sure Taylor makes some money from Pandora.
Right. And then I go buy the album. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how much of a loss are they really suffering if something like that is not paying the royalties. But I don't know.
If you give an inch, it's one of those things that'll,
Yeah, I agree with that. What was really interesting to me was, actually, I'm not going to get into this, so never mind.
What?
It was something regarding AC/DC, and it was years back, and it doesn't matter now.
Why?
It just doesn't matter.
Okie dokie. Shut up, Janet. Shut up. Just shh. How's the letter reading going? If you guys have listened for very long, you know that Carrie asked for the public to send letters to her son because he was being bullied to make him feel better.
Right.
How's that going? You received so many.
I'm still getting. They're still trickling in into the post office box, which is interesting. Every now and then, somebody will post, and I haven't written. I do have some really good blog posts coming up soon. But I haven't written anything on there in a while. But every now and then somebody will post something for my blog, and then that brings other people to read it, and they get to that, and then they send the letter. So I still have him trickling in. He wanted a break. I gave him a break. He will get to all the letters, and my son just wanted a little bit of a break, and I thought that would be better if we just... If he feels like he has to read them right now, then he won't enjoy it and it won't have as much meaning. But your cat cracks me up.
He's all up in your face.
I know. Cats always know I don't like them. It's like children. Children know I don't like them and they love me. And I'm like, I don't really like you.
So you're taking a break. Taking a break from the letter
from the letters.
Are you gonna turn it into a book?
I think so. I think so. I think it would be a really great idea, but he's not sure if he wants to do that, and they're his letters, so I need to make sure that that's something he wants to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You have an ex-husband. Yes. Can you imagine if your ex-husband was Charlie Sheen and he posted what he posted about Denise Richards yesterday? So, the 49-year-old anger management star posted a message to Twitter on Sunday in which he addressed two of his ex-wives, Denise Richards and Brooke Mueller. Brooke M. is a sexy rock star whom I adore. D. Richards, a hectic, washed-up piglet shame pile. Happy Father's Day is what he wrote. Isn't that insane?
Why would he do that? That's so classless.
But he's never been classy.
I know. I don't know why I would even be surprised by that. And, talking about my ex-husband, it used to be, he's a musician.
Right.
And he used to do Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton. Mm-hmm. And he dedicated it to his wife, who he loves so much. Yeah, now he does I Used to Love Her, But I Had to Kill Her by Guns N' Roses and dedicates it to his ex.
Oh, wow.
Potty word wife. Actually, I think he stopped doing that, but he did do that. He was doing that for a couple of years, and
it was his way of coping. I don't know. And speaking of other Father's Day fun, Oliver Hudson, who is Goldie Hawn's son, he posted a picture of him with his biological father, not Kurt Russell, and his sister, Kate, and put Happy Abandonment Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I saw that on because I follow him on Twitter or on Instagram last night, and I was like, Steve,
I sort of get that anger. I really do. I went through a lot of that with my dad.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I went through a lot of it with my dad. He was in and out of our lives, and I think I just made peace with what my parents were. I just made peace with it, and then everything.
You have to because you can't choose them.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I did. I spent time with my dad. I went out to Phoenix and spent time with my dad when he was in home hospice, and then he died a couple of weeks later. So I get that. I think when I was younger, I would have done something like that. Absolutely,
be like of that, like in the spotlight,
right?
Like, do you know who Oliver Hudson is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture. Do you watch... Hold on. Wait for it. Don't worry. It's coming. Hold on. Everything that's coming up is this story. So, do you watch Nashville?
No.
Did you watch Rules of Engagement?
No.
Does he look familiar to you? He was in both of those.
Maybe.
And...
You know how I am with celebrities.
I fell in love with him in Rules of Engagement because he played the dingy neighbor. And then he came on Nashville, and he's a cutie. And then come to find out, he's freaking Goldie Hawn's son. I'm like, of course, I love his sister, so of course I'm going to love him. I just want to be in their family. That would be an awesome family.
I did actually have a golden retriever when I was with my my ex-husband.
Did you name it Goldie Hawn?
No, I had a golden retriever that was the love child of my ex-husband. My ex-husband lived in Glenwood Springs, and he did a whole bunch of work in Aspen, and was very friendly with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And so my dog, Rocky, was the love child of, well, they just breed them, but I'm calling it the love child. Rocky was the love child of my ex-husband's dog, golden retriever. And
you have a connection to Goldie Hawn? And
well, we ended up having to put Rocky down. That was one of the saddest days of my entire life. I loved him so much.
I am striking out today. So we talked about you being vegan. You walk in my door and I offer you cheese. For freak's sakes, I am not doing well.
It's okay. As I was driving here, I was like, "Oh, Jack in the Box." I could stop at Jack in the Box. Nobody would ever know I was cheating on my vegan diet, and I don't even think that's food. I really don't. It's not a place I would normally eat.
So horrible. I am a horrible fast food junkie.
You are?
I am.
I'm not. I don't normally do.
I don't ever post it.
I do Taco Bell every now and then because the state says I have to feed my children.
I discovered something amazing last week. It was the ultimate croissant witch from Burger King. It has bacon, sausage, and ham.
You're so killing me right now. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Guess what? My heart died a little bit from all that crap.
I know, and I have my apples and greens making my heart very, very, very nice and healthy. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they've been together for 30 years. 30 freaking years.
They're best friends.
They've been together a long time. They're not married. They met in 1968, but they didn't start a relationship until 1983. And that might be the longest engagement in history if either Hawn or Russell had ever had intentions to tie the knot. But they don't. They don't even want to. And she said that the secret to this, the lasting relationship, isn't about marriage. It's about compatibility and communication. So you were